Today unveiling a bill to end tax breaks for the 5 largest oil companies. My next guest says it's okay to ditch the tax breaks, but then let them drill more in exchange. That, he says, would be a win-win. The Institute for Energy Research's Dan Kish joining me right now. Dan, it doesn't sound like a bad exchange. Will we ever see that?
Well, probably not, Neil, because this is a huge political issue in Washington, as everything is. The senators who introduced this are the very senators who are the most opposed to drilling for more oil in the United States, starting with Senator Menendez from New Jersey, who has opposed all offshore drilling. So they're the ones who caused the problem. Now they're offering a solution in more taxes. In essence, if we could get the entire corporate tax rate lower and stop all of the energy subsidies across the board, including the ones that the president supports so much, then we'd probably have a much more equitable system, and we could go forward with a market instead of a political answer to our energy problems.
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of oil guys that the subsidies are not a drop-dead issue for them. Many of them have been making a lot of money. They don't need it. Some of the smaller guys would disagree with that, but by and large, that's been their view. But what we do, Dan, as you astutely pointed out, is we swap out these credits. So we take away from one, give to others. And it's these other technologies that would benefit. And I'm wondering to what end? If we just went cold turkey on all of them, what would happen?
Well, we're not going to run the United States on sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. And despite whatever the administration says about its energy policy, we're going to be dependent on these sources, and we need to produce them. And I guess the worst part about this, Neil, is that instead of trying to gouge the consumers, which is all that's going to happen if they start taxing, this makes as much sense as taxing the grocery store, increasing taxes on grocery stores right now because the price of food is going up. What we really need to do is produce more oil here at home, and the government is sitting on what the Congressional Research Service says are the largest supplies of oil.
But Dan, you're right, but they don't want to do it because they're trying to season these higher prices, I think, to just get us to these other technologies, which at best have been unproven. And if they were such a great deal, people would have flocked to them decades ago. I think it was Jimmy Carter who put solar panels on the White House, and it didn't seem to click. So to what end?
Well, and that's the question. The fact is these other technologies are much more expensive. And when the government runs out of money, and I think we're all about to see that, we're going to find that all the subsidies the government gives are going to have to be peeled back, and then the consumer is going to have to pay for these things that the government's been propping up, Neil. And then people are going to see it in their bills, the wind, the solar, the rest of the things that the government is forcing on us. And all that does is make us poorer, because if our energy costs get higher in the United States, we ship our jobs, our industry, and everything else to foreign countries. That's what's been happening.
I know,
that
Dan,
will get worse.
Our best technologies have never been born on the basis of their tax treatment. It wasn't the case with the internet. It wasn't the case with the early days of the auto industry. They came to their own fruition because people liked what they saw. Anyway, I guess it's just weird. Dan,
Henry Ford didn't get a federal grant.
Right. The horse and buggy industry did. Dan, thank you very much. Dan Kish, wise words all. Remember when the Supreme Court passed on hearing an expedited appeal of the health care law, said